gentlemen.
How are you, sir?
I called you several weeks ago, Dick, and mentioned Al Luplo, the Al Luplo.
Oh, yeah.
And a good friend of mine, I'm a bartender up here in the North Shore.
Okay. And I'm sure we probably met. And if I haven't, my partner has.
Yeah.
Actually, Dick, we have down at Stowe Acres Country Club. I think it was 1995. It was a benefit for muscular dystrophy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I used to spend a lot of time at Stowe Acres, yeah.
Yep, Dominic DiMaggio was there. And
There you go.
you were raffling off a Reggie Jackson baseball bat. You were just talking about Reggie.
Yeah.
Gary Bell was walking around to the different tables. And Dick, you said,
he's a
"Folks,
funny
you want to
bastard,
see
isn't
something
he?"
funny?" He says, "There's Bell with a bat in his hand. Looks like it's kind of like putting earrings on a pig."
That's exactly right.
And he brought the house down.
Yeah. Well, Gary and I are very close. He's a funny
He
man.
is a very funny guy.
Anyway, good friend of mine, who's a Michigan State alum, played hockey in the early 60s, heard the Luplo call.
Who was it?
Tommy Crowley.
Tommy Crowley.
Tommy Crowley used to play hockey for Michigan State.
In the early 60s.
He was after you.
Yeah, I got out in 59. Gino Grazia from Holyoke, Richie Golden from Holyoke, and their coach, Emo Bissoni, is a Massachusetts guy.
I see. Anyway, Tommy Crowley heard the Al Luplo call.
Yeah.
Didn't know Al Luplo was a running back. And he said, if you talk to Dick Raditz again, Jim, he said, run this name by him, Johnny Cobbs.
Oh, that was our baseball
A
coach.
baseball coach there.
What a wonderful man. Yeah, Johnny Cobbs. Well, actually, his name is Cobbs, John Cobbs.
John Cobbs, okay.
He coached, and I don't want to bore the people with this, but he was at Michigan State so long, Jim, he coached every sport at Michigan State.
Wow.
Mike. Every sport he coached.
Wow.
From swimming,
must not have had time.
Swimming, tennis, baseball, football, basketball, the whole nine.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was there like 45, 46 years. Yeah, wonderful man.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Made a little extra cabbage on the side.
Well, yeah, not much then, but...
I-10 Bar is the best baseball bar
What is it, Jim?
in the hemisphere. Is it okay if I say the name?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's called the Frosty Mug in Lawrence.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right, I'm coming up.
Nice place, 275 Merrimack Street. Ball games all the time. Good baseball talk. Stop in. I work Tuesday through Friday. Love to buy you guys a beer.
What's it called again?
The Frosty Mug.
The Frosty Mug.
Jimmy, thank you, buddy.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, you bet.
I'll see you up there. I'm going to be up there and have 14 beers tomorrow night and then drive
Frosty
home.
Mug, attractive
No, I'm
name,
not
boy.
gonna
I'll be there.
I'll
right,
get a
Jim.
limo to pick me up. Thanks. The guy called...
Jimmy, how are you doing?
What's going on?
It's a good thing I'm not behind the bar tonight, boy. There'd be a significant debt in that vodka bottle.
Yeah, but you know what? You'd get a lot of tips. The drunker people get.
I don't think it's quite time to panic and spit out the bit yet. We're 3 games out with, I think, 22 or 23 games left. And what's done is done. But I think it's time to put Rico Brogna at first base.
Why not?
I mean, inexplicably, as Peter Gammon said, he has not played. 106 RBIs, 206 RBIs the past 2 years.
Why is that?
He needs to be in that lineup.
I agree.
I listened to the Baltimore-Cleveland games on the internet last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland came back, Dick and Mike,
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, not by virtue of their big bats, by virtue of defensive gems by Alomar,
Vizquel. Yeah.
Sadler, Dick, I agree with you, has to be given the shot at second. Brogna, Alomar, the best of the rest, in my view, is Lansing at third. He's not better than Alexander defensively, but he has a lot more pop in his bat, and I think we have to go with that.
What are you going to do with Maloney?
You can't start him. I don't believe you can start him.
Oh, I'd rather have him out there instead of Lansing.
Would you?
Oh, absolutely.
At this juncture.
Yeah, he's hitting the ball much better than Lansing the last time we saw him. And, man, Lewis played a pretty decent third base.
Yeah, 2 errors today or 1 error today?
One, he threw that ball
Oh, yeah, that was a he nonchalanted that ball, and he cut it. And it was
But you know what? Offerman should have made that play.
Oh, he should have.
Exactly.
So now, and you know what? If he had made the play, the replay clearly showed he would have tagged the guy on the head, and he would have been out.
No, I agree.
So, once again, yes, he had an error. He made a bad throw, but he had no help on the other end.
Yeah.
And Brogna, no matter what you say about Brogna, is all those bad throws, he turns them into outs.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Did you hear McCarver today say how many errors
That's right.
Nico Martinez has saved Knobloch
You bet.
and the left side of the infield?
And Brogna's better than he is.
Yes, he is.
Yes. Above and beyond that, my heart really goes out to Bryce Flores.
Oh, yeah.
When I was working last night, you could have...
Yeah.
When I worked last night, you could have heard a pin drop in that place.
Yeah.
That bar. It went absolutely silent, reminiscent of the sick sound of August of '67 with
Yeah.
Tennessee.
That's right.
Yep.
If you can allow me just to tell you one little personal anecdote here.
Okay.
My son's pitching a game last year, starting his first game for North Andover. Driving him to the game, he appears a little nervous. I said, Michael, what's the matter? He says, I'm worried about a line drive being hit back and hitting me in the head. I said, Michael, I pitched 7 or 8 years. You have a better chance of getting hit by lightning than you do having a line drive hit in your face.
Yeah.
I tell the coach that. Second inning, guy gets up and lines a ball, hits him right on the forehead.
Oh, boy.
I dash out, go out to the mound. I look. There was no crying. I saw anger on his face. He looks up at me, and I said, Dad, next I suppose next you're going to tell me I'm going to get hit by lightning. You know?
All right.
All right, guys.
That's
Thanks
good.
for the
All
time.
right,
I'll let
Jerry.
you go.
Thanks. You know what's
I've never had that fear.
part of it's a function of, a lot of guys are trained, and you remember a lot of certain pitchers would end up in a certain way after they threw the ball, where
Yeah.
they're facing home plate, ready to field.
Right.
And I don't know about how Flory's motion affected that, but Jim Cott was a classic example.
Yeah.
When he got done
Mister, you never came up for your 14 beers at the Frosty Mug.
Oh, don't worry, I'll get there.
Okay. Couple of different things I'd like to talk about. An interesting stat that I noted was that Trot Nixon hit 305 in the number 2 slot last year.
Right.
Something I was very surprised at.
Yep.
Assuming that O'Leary is the one to go, which is contrary to what you've heard.
Yeah.
Assuming that O'Leary goes, would you be in favor of putting Nixon in the number 2 hole because you'd have Nomar hitting behind him? And if that was the case, who would you lead off, Offerman or Steins?
Offerman.
Okay.
If he can run.
Because 2 years ago when he was healthy, he has a very good on-base percentage. And obviously that's one of the prerequisites for being a leadoff hitter. Quite honestly, Jimmy, if I had my druthers, I'd rather have, it's all hypothetical, but I'd love to have a legitimate leadoff hitter and have Offerman hit second, to tell you the truth.
That's right.
Yeah.
How about Chris Steins? I think he hit over 400 for Cincinnati in the leadoff spot last year. Didn't he, fellas?
Here's what his track record is. He was only a part-time player until last year, really.
That's correct.
Last year he hit a 330-something or 340 maybe in 123 games for the Reds. And in his lifetime, he has attempted 50 stolen bases. He has been successful 41.
Yeah, not bad.
That being the case, Dick, would you still rather have Offerman leading off?
Well,
Assuming his knee's okay after the scope job that he just
well, my question is this. What if Valentin's healthy? What are you going to do, DH him?
Well, I think if Valentin were healthy, would they have done the Steins deal? I don't
Yeah,
know.
as insurance, I think.
Yeah, I think they did his insurance. And Mike brings out a good point a few minutes ago. There's always the possibility, if Valentin's healthy, that you might see Steins at second base come opening day.
Yep.
And
That's
how
a
about
possibility.
Offerman at first?
Pardon me?
Would Jose Offerman go to first
There's
base?
that possibility, too, depending on what Dahlbach does or doesn't do. There's going to be a deal made here, Jimmy.
I think so.
There's too many people that have some value that they're not going to be able to use the way they'd like to. Somebody's going to get dealt.
And if they're going to DH Valentin, then what do you do with Dante Bichette, who definitely has?
He has to hit in the 6th spot. doesn't he?
Exactly.
I'll tell you, Dante Bichette's a big key to the success of this ball club.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
He's a banger. We're going to score a lot of runs.
Yeah, I think so. Now if we can hold them down.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks.
All right, Jimmy.
Jimmy, the bartender, calling
Isn't
from...
it fun to anticipate all this stuff?
This is where the fun starts.
Yeah.
375-0850 is our telephone. 885-25-0850. Jimmy in North Andover. Hey, Jimmy.
Good morning, Mike and the Mods.
Jimmy, how are you?
Good. Jimmy the bartender here.
Hey, Jimmy.
Mike, I called up because initially I said, oh, my God, here's somebody else that wants to take Nomar out of the number 3 spot. And
Yep.
I was just thinking that the 3rd through the 6th spot, like, I don't know, Dick was talking last week, are pretty much cemented, aren't they, with Nomar, Ramirez, Everett, and Bichette, numbers 3 through 6?
They
You
probably
would
are.
think so, yeah.
Okay. But I made a batting order with Garcia Parra on top, and that doesn't look too darn bad either.
Read it off to me. You got Nomar. Who's hitting second?
Well, I put Offerman there.
Right.
With Ramirez.
Could be Nixon, too.
Right. With Offerman, Ramirez, Everett 4th, Bichette in the 5th hole, which would move him up one.
Yep.
O'Leary, and then you'd have Dahlbach, Varitek, and Steins if Johnny Val doesn't make it.
Uh-huh. Now, you could also reverse, if O'Leary has a good season, you could reverse he and Bichette against righty-lefty platoons.
Right.
Yep.
And you could also put Valentin in the second spot if he's healthy.
And
Yep.
both lineups that I read off are without Valentin and Nixon.
Yeah. Not bad.
One thing I wanted to mention, fellas, is that a good friend of mine, Joey Toscano, has been all over lauding Juan Diaz,
Yep.
the fellow that we
The Cuban.
Dodgers signed illegally.
Yes.
Big numbers last year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
6'2", almost 230. He's 25 years old, and his first 12 games with Pawtucket, it's 7 dingers last year.
That's correct.
They say he's a good glove man.
Say he's a good fielder, and he got injured last year at Pawtucket, so we didn't see much of him after that, but he did come out with a big bang.
Have you seen him, Mike?
No.
Physically seen him?
I have
I'm
not.
very curious about this fellow.
But we've talked to a few guys that have.
And we've
They
talked about him on the air, too. He's one of those little secret weapons you might have there.
Absolutely.
Love to have him come big.
You bet.
Yeah, hey, if he hits with that kind of power, you may see him hitting 5th.
No, you never
I mean,
know.
if he's got that kind of power, he could be the 5 guy. Move Bichette back to 6th, and O'Leary's hitting 7th, or whomever you have in there.
Right, Mike and the Monster. What do you think of Brian Daubach's chances of winning the first base job and keeping it all year long?
Well, I think he's got a chance to win it. Do I like him over there? Not particularly.
I don't either.
I think he's way too streaky. I had the privilege of talking to him at the Super Bowl. We watched. I wasn't at that. We watched it in Fort Myers together. And I
You
said,
guys were in some bar with a big screen.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, Brian, you're swinging too many bad pitches. And he said, I know I was pressing, and I think he was. And but 2-0, 3-1. This guy was swinging the pitches in there. He did that too much.
Remember the first half of the year '99 when he was hitting about 320 for the first half of the
he
season?
gets in a streak. He can rip.
He fell off big, but I think that the pitchers got to know where his holes are a little bit. Now Brian Daubach has to know where his
Yeah,
holes
exactly.
are. It's his turn.
I think he's another guy, Jimmy, that not unlike maybe a Rojo who loses concentration at times.
Right, exactly.
And he's up there. He's lost when he goes up there, you know. If he can concentrate a little bit better, get it back, he might have something here. But as of right now, I'd look at some other options. I'll tell you the truth.
How about the option we didn't even exercise, which we talked about last September, Dick?
Yeah.
Rico Bronya. Wouldn't he be perfect
Wow.
for a Chris Steins who... The only knock defensively on Steins really is that he has an erratic
Yeah, but
throwing
he's
arm.
gone.
And then Nomar once in a while will airmail one into the stands.
Yeah.
And offer him a 2. Wouldn't Bronya have at least warranted a phone call or a
Jimmy,
tryout?
Mind-boggling.
Jimmy, I can't understand what they did with him to make him so negative. Well, I understand what they did.
They didn't play him.
Why in the hell they let him get
Got to be
away?
a Jimmy thing with him because you know why? Because Jimmy was the one who could have, should have, would have put him in the lineup on a regular basis last year. After the home run he hit to win the game, we
Right.
didn't see him.
No, I know.
And I thought that was vastly.
Well, they went to put him on the DL when he wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
He didn't understand it. He didn't like it. I mean, you never saw a guy come over here that had a better attitude. He was elated to be here.
That's right.
I think I'll never understand it.
Now, we let him go before we got Manny Ramirez, correct?
Correct.
So, but given the fact that now we have Manny, maybe you can live with a quote, weak hitting Bronya, who had 206 RBIs in 2 years. Which
Yeah, that's weak hitting.
That's not weak hitting to me.
All right.
No.
Well, the other thing is maybe they have some moves in mind for moving around some guys in positions. I mean, as in maybe Bichette or O'Leary can play some first base. I don't know what they're going to do, but there's going to be a lot shaken out of the first base slot in the first 3 weeks of training camp. You can bet on it.
You know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see people at the bar sitting around, and the anticipation for this Red Sox.
You bet.
It's way up.
You bet,
high.
Jimmy.
Sky high.
Way high. Thanks for the call. Bye, Jimmy. 375-0850. We take a break. Come back. Talk to you a little bit. Dick Raditz. Victor's here. I'm Mike Adams. We're doing Mike and the Monster, and Jimmy's in North Andover, who's our next caller.
Jimmy,
Come on down.
Jimmy, how you doing?
Come
Mike
on
and the
down.
Monster. How you doing?
good. Say hello to Victor.
Hey, Victor. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. How you feeling?
All right, great. Listen, I just I had a bunch of things that a few things I wanted to talk about in response to Bill, I guess Butch's friend from the Cape.
Yeah.
I was just looking up a couple of stats here. I think that we all agree that average allowed and scoring positions are really pertinent stat here. Second to Pedro Martinez, of course, who led the world in everything last year. Followed by the name of Frank Castillo.
Really?
195 average and scoring
Yeah, but the
position.
issue here is the guy has he has a bad shoulder, bad arm. So we don't know.
Chronic bad something. He's never been healthy for a full season that I can
He
remember.
was 10-5 with a 3-point-something ERA. That stat in itself is pretty good. But as Victor pointed out, he did hurt his shoulder towards the end of the season.
So we don't know.
We don't know. People are telling me now, Victor, that I talked to one and heard it from a couple others. They're watching him warm up now, and he's short arming the ball. He's pushing it.
Yeah, a lot of these.
Mike likes Castillo a lot.
Yeah, a lot of these pitchers hurt their arms. You know, they're on the road a lot. They're watching Spectrovision.
Matter of fact, you talk about the road, Mike. Frank Castillo was third in ERA in the road last year, too.
That's correct.
With a 3.25 ERA. Anyway, I have a rules question, and I can't believe that a few of the guys around the bar disputed this, but
I know every rule in baseball. Give it to
perhaps
us.
you can help me out.
Ask the monster.
Even the ones he made up.
Yep.
Runner on first base, nobody out.
Yep.
Ground ball to the first baseman.
Yep.
For some reason, he may have thought the first baseman could catch it in the air. Could have been a line drive. Anyway, the first base runner, the guy who's on first, is standing on the base. The first baseman has the ball in his glove.
Yep.
Runs over to the bag, touches the bag to retire the batter, proceeds to tag the runner who didn't move, who is standing on first base.
Runner safe.
He's safe because there's no
safe.
force.
Thank you very much. The only way to get a double play in that situation is to go 3-6-3, correct?
Or catch the runner
Off the base.
Off
Tag
the
him.
base.
Yeah, tag him.
Correct. Once you touch first base, the runner is not obliged to move.
Correct.
That's correct.
That's the
Thank you
law.
very much. I had a bunch of Lucky O'Brien.
Baseball is my life.
And you've heard it here, so it's the law, damn it.
Jimmy, let me ask you a rules question.
Sure, Dick.
Explain the catcher's balk to me.
Oh, wow.
Catcher's
Is
balk.
there such a thing as a catcher's balk?
Yeah, there
I
is.
don't know. Please share it with me.
If the catcher is calling for an intentional pass and he steps out of the catcher's box, that's a balk.
And of course, they all do it, don't
No, they don't. They used to. They used to let him step out. Now they have to stand there until the ball is pitched, and then they can step out and
Yeah,
catch it.
yeah. I mean, that's why they put their arm out. You know?
Yeah.
It's one of the rules they never call that they're now enforcing, correct?
Well, there's a lot of things they don't enforce.
It's flexible.
You know what's
But
fun? is when-
that's something that's quite
I love when they
unusual
call
rule.
an intentional walk. They put their arm out there. They stand there, and some guy lets one go, and it goes over the catcher's head. Everybody looks like it's like a Chinese fire drill. Everybody looks like an idiot. Out there.
And fellas, one more thing before I go, if I may. Last year, for example, say Varitek and Hatterberg are the catchers. Varitek's in the lineup. Hatterberg's in the dugout, correct?
Right.
And there's double-barreled action in the Red Sox bullpen?
Oh, I like the term.
Who double-barreled action?
Double-barreled action in the bullpen.
Pachado and
Garces.
Garces are warming up. Who is catching them in the bullpen?
Anybody, whoever's available, get somebody up.
I mean, Derek Lowe's not catching them.
No. Well, John Cumberland has been known to put on the gear down there. He's the pitcher.
Bullpen coach.
Bullpen
Barry
coach.
Yeah.
But usually the second catcher is down there.
Let me ask you a question. If a guy leaves the game, let's say your second catcher leaves, you pinch hit for him, now you both catchers.
Anybody can go down there.
Can the other catcher that's out of the game go back out and catch the bullpen guys?
That's a good question. I think they can.
I mean, they don't have a designated person down there specifically to catch.
Well, I'll tell you what happens. Somebody like Lou Merlone or whoever your utility player, they'll go down, put a mask on, and catch.
Okay.
That's been done.
Yep.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Yeah, Jimmy Pearsall used to warm up pitchers.
Jimmy Pearsall did a lot of things he wasn't aware of.
Thanks for the call.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Victor, thanks for being here,
Hey,
my
guys,
friend.
thank you. All right.